StockPulse Newsroom. We are talking GR Silver today. That's GRSL in the venture exchange, GRSLF, OTCQB in the States here. And we are talking, they are drilling in Mexico, GR Silver. And I've got with me now, he is the CEO and the chairman, Eric Zaunscherb. And Eric, I really appreciate you taking the time here. I've been a fan of what you got going in Mexico here. And I certainly want to dig into the current day. It looks like you're trying to widen this project here, but let's back up a little bit, clue investors in maybe how you did in 21 and then take us into current day.
Thanks so much for having us, Rob. It's a real pleasure to be here. It's a really cool story, and 21 wasn't exactly our best year. We put out a initial resource estimates for two of the areas in our big project, and expectations were higher than what we delivered in terms of grade, not necessarily in terms of number of ounces, but in terms of grade. And there's some really good reasons why that grade came in lower than expectations. And that is largely because it was done in an extremely conservative nature. You're not going to have one of those situations where somebody comes in there later and says, oh, you guys, we only got 60% of what you said. So no, that's not going to happen here. This has been done on a very professional basis. Basically, what we've got here is a story with a very large district. So we've got over 700 square kilometers, over 400 square kilometers in the core of it, in a district called Gran Rosario in Sinaloa, Mexico. What we have here is a situation where you've got all the 4 Ps, I like to call it, and I spent over 30 years as a mining analyst. And the 4 Ps to me are people, project, place, and price or value, right? So starting from the end of that, price, we're trading at over a 50% discount relative to the mean for the peers, right? So if the peers are $1.70 US per ounce in the ground, we're at something just south of 80 cents in the ground. So this is a great opportunity from a valuation perspective. In terms of place, Mexico is well known. There's been mining there for centuries for silver. Everybody knows it's a great one, if not the best silver country in the world for silver production and exploration. People. This project was founded by Marcio Fonseca, who's our president and chief operating officer. He had the brilliant vision of putting all of this together, assembling the package from different places, right? And then in terms of the project itself, we currently have 79 million ounces silver equivalent, 51 million ounces of silver. And we have a very clear path on how we're going to expand that resource. That is what this company is all about, is delineating and de-risking high-grade silver. And that's our goal with the current drill program and drilling that we'll do beyond that, is to upgrade our resources and expand our resource base. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, I think you're speaking investors' language when you talk like that. So let's unpack that a little bit. And what's that look like in 22 to lay out your year?
Well, what we're doing is we have an ongoing drill program. I mentioned the bigger project. The focus on the project coming in is zeroing in on the project is the San Marcial area. And the second is the Plomosas area. Plomosas is a former mine. It was a base metal mine, lead zinc, run by Grupo Mexico over 20 years ago. And we have this land package that encompasses multiple structural corridors. And the key in this region, in fact, throughout the state and adjoining states, is these very important north-south structures that are deep-seated. And then they get cross-cut by more or less east-west or northwest, southeast. And where these cross-cutting structures occur, you get an increase in grade. And that's the beautiful thing that Marcio's done here, working with the fantastic geological team, the Mexican team we have, is taking all this historical data, combining it with modern data, and generating an exploration model, a geological model that is targeted at the high grade. And so the proof in the pudding is that we've had this 8-hole underground drill program. We've got 7 holes that have been announced, 3 of them more or less recently, and then others at the beginning of January. We have an 8th hole coming in a few weeks. That's in the lab. As you know, lab turnarounds have been brutal, but that's just the nature of the industry, unfortunately. And so all these holes are now demonstrating that, number one, the San Marcial extends to depth. And as you go deeper, the grade goes up and the proportion of silver goes up. And that's a key part of this, is the geological understanding as this breccia zone goes to depth, it gets richer and higher in silver. So this ongoing program, we have 3 rigs at San Marcial. It's 2,000 meters in the first round, 4,500 meters overall in the currently funded program. And that is targeting expansion. So we want to build mass. We want to build volume here following this extension to depth. That's over 500 meters of strike length at San Marcial. We have another 1.5 kilometers, another 300%, that has a similar geological feature. So it's the contact between the upper and the lower volcanics, and there's a structure there. We think that it's possible that breccia, that is the focus at San Marcial, extends to the southeast. So we're going to be exploring that at surface as well. So San Marcial to depth and San Marcial along strike. That's the one area. The second area where we're currently drilling is called Plumosis, and that's, again, that former mine. You've got 8 kilometers of underground development to work with. You've got all the people around there, the ejidos that we already have deals with. We have power that comes directly to site. So there's a de-risking there that's associated with that. But we want to follow the mineralization within Plumosis and demonstrate that the grade and the resource that we came up with, there's some very good reasons to believe that we can move the needle towards the historical production grade. In other words, from 100 grams per ton silver, the production grade was closer to 250 grams per ton silver, and we hope to move the needle in that direction with detailed surgical infill drilling. That's ongoing. So coming back to what you asked, what are we going to see over 22? It's our goal to deliver resource updates at both Plumosis and San Marcial in the first quarter of 23. That's what we're committed to delivering.
Well, quite a game plan there, boss. And again, you raised some money here, so you've got enough cash in the bank here to carry out the mission, I assume. So health check, we all good?
We're all good. That's the idea, is that we take the funds that we have raised now. Obviously this has been one of the worst junior markets in 40 years. I track the industry, how it's been doing. And this is, I think, third, depending on the month, the second or third worst market in 40 years. So that's a challenge. You need to raise money during that time. You're going to see what the market gives you. And we're very honored that we've had some very supportive shareholders, some very interesting new shareholders that take us to that 7.3 million Canadian raise. And we're gonna use their money carefully and hope to deliver with it.
Well, game plan sounds sound. So Eric Zaunscherb, he's a CEO and he's chairman, GR Silver, GRSL, Toronto Venture Exchange, GRSLF, OTCQB. Eric, I really appreciate that update. Certainly a lot to pay attention to, and we'll check back in when you hit the wire again. Thank you.
Super. Thanks very much, Rob. Appreciate it.